So, my thoughts on Antifa, and I guess just rioters in general. I don't fucking like it. Not at all. So, when Trump won the presidency, you saw this, I guess, emergence. Not really an emergence, because it had been going on for some time, but for what they claim different reasons. When Trump won the election, you saw this emergence of the group Antifa. Now, what does Antifa do? Well, they claim to be anti-fascist. So, what do? They show up to rallies that promote free speech, or without quotation marks, however you want to see that. And rather than just protesting, there's been incidents where they throw explosives into the opposition side. They charge the other side with various different weapons. They end up to be honest, from what I can see, their main goal is to shut down any type of conservative speech whatsoever. Now, there are a lot of people that feel very strongly about this on both sides. I think I'm one of them. Well, I guess if I say I think I'm one of them, that I don't really feel that strongly about it, but whatever. To be honest, Antifa, I look at them as no better than the KKK or the Taliban, any other group that uses violence to shut down an opponent's political, religious, or ethical views. There have been people that I've seen say, well, if you don't support Antifa, then you support fascism. I'd say they need to look at what fascism is, and not what a lot of people say the word means. With fascism, it's not... people seem to think that fascism just means right-wing views. That's not true at all. Just because you love your country and think it's the best in the world, or because you think that your elected government that you elected, that is there to serve you, puts your country first, that doesn't make you a fascist. What does make you a fascist, though? So, when you completely centralize everything in the government, when the government controls everything, and then you go out and you decide to conquer the entire world because they aren't you, when you say that anybody who doesn't agree with us is evil and needs to be killed, or when you say that such and such race is evil and needs to be driven out, that's fascism. But what people like Antifa are standing for right now isn't against fascism. It's against speaking freely. So, a lot of people have been, well, I don't blame them. A lot of people are just following what major news sites are reporting on Antifa and whatnot. If you dig just a little bit deeper, you don't have to dig too far. Just go onto YouTube and search up videos. The guys that I normally get information from, as far as this type of thing goes, would be Sargon of Akkad and Tim Pool. I like both of them really, really much. Well, fuck me, very much. I don't think their political leanings are where I lie. A lot of people would describe me as a libertarian, but to be honest, I don't agree with having political parties to begin with. But a lot of my views come from, if you aren't infringing on somebody else's liberties, then they should be left alone. That's where a lot of my views come from. And a lot of people equate that with libertarianism. But whatever. So, Tim Pool and Sargon of Akkad have both described themselves as moderate leftists or right-leaning leftists. Sargon of Akkad describes himself as a liberal. But if you look at what they have to say about Antifa and whatnot, so Tim Pool, he's a reporter, and in my opinion, he does a good job. He tries to represent both sides of the story. He admits himself that he is a bit biased, but nobody can overcome any and all bias. However, I think he does a very good job at, he does his best at reporting both sides of the story without making the person he's interviewing feel like he's being pressured to answer to one side or the other. At least by Tim Pool. So, I've watched several of his live streams and several of his YouTube videos of those live streams, and one thing his audience kept asking him was, why are you only interviewing Trump supporters? Why aren't you interviewing the Antifa side? Well, if you watch his live streams, he does try to. He tries to interview Antifa at rallies and whatnot. But, as he said, whenever he approached the Antifa side, he was met with being shouted at. People tried to assault him. Why would you talk to people like that? Why would you get yourself involved in that situation just to get a good scoop? When people are trying to harm you, or if people are just being belligerent, not actually giving you anything to make a story on, if they're just shouting, "You're a fascist, you're a pig, you're evil," and all this and that, why the fuck would you talk with him in the first place? But when he went to talk to whatever side that was not Antifa in that situation, they were completely open and willing to talk and be polite and civil. They had disagreements, but they were actually willing to discuss their views. To me, Antifa isn't anti-fascist. Even though that's what their name stands for, to me, Antifa stands for, I guess I would say, the left trying to just shut down conservative views and shut down freedom of speech. Now, I know some people that watch this might get all riled up and say, "Oh, you're just a patsy for Trump and whatnot." Just to let you know, I didn't want to vote for Trump in the first place. Who I was going to vote for was Jim Webb. He was a Democratic senator that was in the running to run for president. And then he ended up leaving the Democratic Party because he said, "You know what? The Democratic Party ain't what it used to be, and I'm done with this shit." I ended up voting for Trump because he was way better than Hillary Clinton, and Johnson was just fucking milquetoast. He didn't really take a stand on anything. He just decided he'd go middle of the line on everything. He didn't really have any of his own beliefs, so I didn't vote for him. I figured at least voting for somebody that at least claimed to stand for his beliefs, with beliefs that I aligned with, was better than voting for somebody who decided to go middle of the line just to get a libertarian vote. Anyways, so now that you understand that I don't vote straight Republican, I would rather not vote for any party if I have the option. But the shits that's going on around different colleges, around different cities, fuck, man, it's ridiculous. So look at just riots in general. Let's take the riots in Ferguson, for example. You had people running through the street, burning down cars, looting buildings. Did it ever once occur to them that the business owner or the employees there might be on their side? It doesn't fucking matter to them. They just want it to burn. They don't care about who's on their side, who's not. They just want to burn shit, blow shit up, fucking wreck shit. They don't care. Rioters are one of the lowest pieces of trash in my mind that I can think of. And to be honest, Antifa is right there with them. The only thing Antifa cares about, honestly, is just making a name for themselves. To be honest, be honest with yourself. Who heard of Antifa before they started rioting in the streets when Trump won the presidency? Nobody. Nobody knew who they were. All this is a fucking political ploy to get attention. Now, why do I have such a hard stance against them? Well, as I said before, they aren't just protesting. They're fucking throwing explosives in the crowds. They're fucking beating people with bike locks. They're going to end up getting into a situation that's going to get a lot of them killed, to be honest. Because the same thing's going to happen that allowed Trump to be elected president. Trump wasn't elected president because he was this amazing, great, wonderful messiah of a candidate. Trump was elected because people are tired of the Democratic Party and the left in general's shit. They're tired of the SJWs. They're tired of people in big cities telling them how to live if they live in a small town anywhere in the U.S. They're tired of our country constantly being sold out to be basically ruled over by countries across the fucking ocean. People think that Trump supporters or that people who are on the right in general are all these fascist, Nazi, racist pigs. To be honest, that's not why you guys lost the election. That's not why you guys are losing special elections. The reason why you guys are losing this shit is yourselves. You treat everyone else like absolute shit. You prop yourselves up like if you didn't go to college, you're an uneducated piece of shit, and you don't deserve to have an opinion on anything. How many of you fuckers have a well-paying job right now? How many of the people that went to college and got their liberal arts degree and all that shit have a well-paying job? I have a great job. I work as a sheet metal mechanic, and it's great. I get paid well, the hours are decent, I get a very good paid time off that I get every paycheck. And I didn't go to college. I have this great job. I didn't even bother going to college. Why? Why would I throw myself into more debt for that? And yet you have this whole attitude of if you didn't go to college, you're this dumbass sack of shit. Fuck that. People like me are tired of being treated like the doormats of the world simply because we didn't go to college, simply because we're not afraid to say things that people might get offended at. So what if you get offended at it? Speak the same to me. If you get offended by something, say something that I might find offensive. Do it. Why the fuck would you try to get legislation passed that protects you from bullying and have these safe spaces and all that shit? To me, this is what Antifa stands for. They're a bunch of people that wear masks and whatnot and go after people who are just tired of the left shit. And all these people that are tired of the left shit, they're going to grow really tired of Antifa shit as well. I wouldn't be surprised if here in a couple months or a couple years, we're going to end up having firefights break out on large city streets. Why? Will it be because, oh, all these Republicans decided to carry guns to this protest and just randomly open fire on Antifa and leftist supporters? No, it's because people on the right are tired of being attacked constantly. When we show up to protests and whatnot, we get beat the shit out of if we do nothing to stand against it. And when we take measures to stand against it, the other side escalates. It's just going to keep escalating, to be honest. We're going to end up having a huge fucking bloodbath here in the next couple of years. And it's not going to be because some terrorist decided to do some dumbass shit. It's not going to be because some lone wolf gunman did some shit. It's going to be because people got tired of other people's shit. Groups like Antifa are only going to further that. They're only going to make it worse. They aren't helping the left. To be honest, most people that are just living their lives, just doing their daily grind of, okay, I wake up, do my thing, I go to work, I come home, I relax, and I go to bed. Shit, I don't know a whole lot about politics, but I know more than a whole lot of people out there. That's not saying a whole lot, but a lot of people just get caught up in their daily grind. A lot of people don't look at it as they have the time to research this shit. And why would they? Both of the major parties have failed both of their sides. The Republicans didn't do jack shit when Obama was elected. And right now, they aren't doing shit now that Trump is elected. All they're doing is standing in the fucking way. The Democrats, all they did was play patsy to Obama throughout his corrupt regime. You have the Fast and the Furious. You have Flint, Michigan. A lot of people say, oh, well, conservatives caused this and that. Well, look at who was running Flint, Michigan. It was a bunch of fucking Democrats. You have Obama's foreign policy where he was allowing Iran to have all this money. He allowed them to get nuclear materials. People are just tired of all this bullshit. It's gonna come to a head. And it's not going to be pretty when it happens. Groups like Antifa are just rushing that process. They're just speeding that process up. It's going to come to a head whether we like it or not, to be honest. Sooner or later, it's going to get bloody. Look at any nation's history. America, as a nation, is relatively young. Look at England. Look at how many fucking wars they've had. Look at France, how many wars they've had. Any nation throughout time has gone through numerous wars. Yeah, we've had a lot of wars, but fuck, man. We've only had one civil war. Look at how many civil wars other countries have had. We're gonna run into another one eventually. And if we just keep answering things that we just don't like with violence, so let's say that I really like vanilla ice cream, and someone else really likes chocolate ice cream. So, we decide to talk about the merits of both sides. Now, we start to get a group following. I get a lot of people following me saying, yeah, vanilla is awesome. We get the other side saying, yeah, chocolate ice cream's amazing. But then you get groups from vanilla or chocolate side, whatever one, that decide to beat the shit out of the other side simply because they believe that their flavor is better. That's basically what Antifa is right now. Just a bunch of fucking stupid shit, man. You've got people canceling speakers because they're worried about violence. So rather than going after the people causing violence, they're going after the speakers that the people that cause violence disagree with. That's playing right into their hand. Yeah. It's just a bunch of bullshit, man. A lot of us are getting really tired of it. It's going to end up breaking out into something worse before too long.